Heyo! Welcome to the Team SNG Test Hands video. Today we are going to be talking about the test hands for the Time Thief profile that was featured on the channel earlier this week. If you haven't checked out the profile, what are you doing here? You should watch that before this. Actually, I don't mind. You can watch this and then watch that, but if you want to see that, link to it's in the description below. Also, while I've got your attention, I'd like to ask you guys, do leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. And definitely, do subscribe. At the time of recording this, we are 4 subscriptions away from 100, and I have a big announcement for the channel when we get to 100, and that announcement will include a way for you to be featured on this channel and your profiles to be here. Public for the world, anything you want to show off can be featured here on this channel. So, the announcement's coming out when we hit 100. Let's get us there, guys. That being said, this deck mainly features on going first and trying to control your opponent's board. So we are going to do 3 going first test hands, which will have us draw 5 cards and see what we can do with those 5. And you know what? I think we've said enough about it. Let's get into it. Okay, so first test hand, Time Thief Hack, Parallel Exceed, Dinotherium, Summoner Monk. So this isn't a bad opening. We actually do have plays that we can definitely be making here, so that's really good for us. We have our generic extender, which will likely, this will be our normal summon. We have an extender, which will let us special summon straight from our hand. And then we can also link summon early on, so we can then use Parallel Exceed to get into our later plays. So first things first, we are going to normal summon our Summoner Monk. We are then going to use Summoner Monk's effect. We're going to send Time Thief Hack to the grave, and special summon our Time Thief Winder. For the channel when we get to 100, actually, the announcement will include a way for... Yeah, we're actually going to special summon our Time Thief Bezel Ship, because it will let us extend further. Oh, Winder gets us to search. We are actually going to special summon Winder. Because Summoner Monk doesn't stop Winder's effect going off, Winder will then let us search a Time Thief card from our deck to our hand, so we are going to search out Public for the World, anything you want to shoot anyway. So yeah, Time Thief Retrograde. At this point, we are going to go Link 2 into our IP Mask Arena. Because we have Link summoned while Parallel Exceed is in our hand, we are going to special summon our Parallel Exceed. Because Parallel Exceed was special summoned, we can special summon a second Parallel Exceed from our deck. So here he is. These both count as level 4 monsters right now. So we can link both of them off into our Bujinki Ahashima. Ahashima will now let us special summon 1 card from our grave and 1 card from our hand with the same level. So we are going to special summon Time Thief Winder and Dinotherium. And then it will instantly overlay both of them into our Time Thief Redoer. At this point, if we wanted, we could special summon our Dinotherium. We haven't actually got the graveyard set up to be able to get Perpetua on board as well, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world because we do have Redoer, who is the main form of control this deck has. And we have Time Thief Retrograde to negate a spell trap on our opponent's side of the field and attach it to our Redoer. On top of that, we can then, on our opponent's turn, link summon into our Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax. And we would have Avermax, Redoer, and our Retrograde to stop something on our opponent's side of the field. So we have ended up in a relatively okay position. It's a bit unfortunate that we haven't actually been able to set up our Time Thief Redoer quite as we would like. If we'd chosen, we could have searched for Time Thief Flyback instead of Time Thief Retrograde, and then that might have given us the ability to get into a Redoer with at least a trap guaranteed attached to it. But it's perfectly fine that we've ended up where we have, because our chances are our opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with our Avermax. Once they deal with our Avermax, they're then going to have to try and deal with our Redoer, who can dodge an effect by banishing himself till the end phase and coming back. And Time Thief Retrograde could potentially help us out as well. So we've ended up in an okay position here. I'm really happy actually that we have actually ended up with our Avermax and our Redoer combo right here. On top of that, we will have taken something off of the top of our opponent's deck, and statistically speaking, there's about a 20% chance that that would be a trap as well, to give Redoer his negation effect. Or at least his board control effect. Okay, so Parallel Exceed, again, really nice to see in the opening hand. It lets us set up our play. Time Thief Regulator, Time Thief Winder, Time Thief Flyback, Time Thief Retrograde. So this is a really nice opening. We have the best play starter for the deck in our Time Thief Regulator. We also have our Parallel Exceed, which is a really nice card as well, because it does allow us to extend further into our deck. And then we do have our Time Thief Winder in hand already, which isn't the end of the world. It's perfectly good to us. Right there. So, best normal summon of the deck, Time Thief Regulator. Normal summon Regulator. Use Regulator's effect, tribute itself, to special summon Time Thief Winder and Time Thief Bezel Ship. Time Thief Winder's effect will go off, letting us search out Time Thief Chronocorder. At this point, we're going to go Link 2. Because we have Parallel Exceed in our hand, we're going to go Link 2 into IP. The only reason that we're going Link 2 into IP is because of the Parallel Exceed. Will let us get into our Bujinki Hashima without sacrificing anything, really. Because our Parallel Exceed will now special summon itself and a copy from the deck. Both will be level 4 as well. These two can now link off into our Bujin Link. Our Bujin Link will let us special summon back our Winder and our Chronocorder from our hand, and then instantly overlay both of them into our Time Thief Redoer. We can then use Time Thief Redoer's effect. Oh no, sorry, we can then use Time Thief Bezel Ship's effect Engrave to detach Time Thief Chronocorder to special summon itself back. Then using Redoer's effect, we can detach Time Thief Winder to banish our Redoer. This will then trigger Time Thief Chronocorder in the grave to special summon itself back. At this point, we can overlay both of these into our Time Thief Perpetua. The reason that we want to overlay them into Perpetua is Perpetua's effect will let us select what card gets attached to Time Thief Redoer, as he will then return to the field during the end phase. So Perpetua will allow us to attach a trap directly from the deck to Time Thief Redoer, and also will give us recursion later on in the game because we can use her effect in the standby phase to special summon something back. So on the next turn in the standby phase, we are going to then use Time Thief Redoer's effect to take something off the top of our opponent's deck, and we are going to use Time Thief Perpetua's effect target Redoer and attach a trap directly to him. So what we're going to attach to him will be probably a copy of Time Thief Retrograde. Speaking of, we do have Retrograde and Flyback in our hand, so we can set both of those before we end our turn. In the standby phase, we use Perpetua's effect, attaching Retrograde to our Redoer as material, and during our opponent's main phase, we can then also go Link 4 into Knight Crusader Avermax. So this is probably one of the best openings you can have, because you have your Time Thief Retrograde to set yourself up. It acts as a negate of a spell trap, equipping it to your Time Thief Redoer. Your Redoer also acts as a spot removal, and you also have Time Thief Flyback, which can then attach a monster to your Time Thief Redoer as well, meaning that you can activate all three of Redoer's effects potentially on the opponent's next turn, which can be really, really useful for us. Alright, so that does it for the second test hand. Let's get on to the third and final test hand. So, final test hand for this deck. Xyz Reception, Time Thief Flyback, Time Thief Startup, Summoner Monk, Dinotherium. So, not the greatest opening here. We're going to have to use our Summoner Monk here to help us out, but we could have ended up in a worse situation, so it's not too bad. So first things first, we are going to special summon our Dinotherium. There's no harm in having him on the field. His second effect won't be a problem because there's nothing in our grave for our opponent to basically steal. We can then normal summon our Monk, and we can use our Xyz Reception because we have nothing else in our hand to utilize. So we can pitch our Xyz Reception to special summon from the deck our Time Thief Winder. The reason that we're summoning Winder is because of the fact that he will also then let us search. So we're going to search out our Time Thief Bezel Ship, because that will act as an additional extender later on in the turn. At this point, what we're going to want to do is activate our Time Thief Startup to special summon our Bezel Ship. We can then overlay Winder and Bezel Ship into our Redoer, and we can overlay our Summoner Monk and our Ditherium into our Perpetua. So, not necessarily the greatest of openings, but we do have Time Thief Flyback, so we can set up our Redoer really nicely. Because Perpetua can attach something to him, and Time Thief Flyback can attach something to him straight from the deck. So we've ended up in an okay situation. It's not the greatest. We don't have Avermax this time protecting the monsters, but we are in a good situation because we have managed to set up our sort of control elements with our Time Thief Redoer and our Perpetua on the field at the same time. So, that does it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've learned a little something from it. I would like to thank you guys for watching. Do leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. And trust me, really do subscribe. We are so close to having the big announcement that the channel's been waiting for. With that all being said, all I can say is I'll see you guys at the next video.